National Institute of Agriculture Extension Management, MANESIA has redefined the landscape of agricultural entrepreneurship. Our center has been the cradle of innovation for 940 entrepreneurs, nurturing their ideas and transforming them into viable enterprises. We take immense pride in having supported 468 startups across diverse agriculture sectors, each contributing to the transforming of India's agriculture ecosystem. What sets Manacia apart is our comprehensive approach to entrepreneurship development. We don't just incubate ideas, but we cultivate success stories. Our comprehensive support system offering expert guidance and specialized training in crucial areas such as agro-processing, post-harvest technologies, value addition, farm mechanization, animal husbandry, fisheries, dairy, community trading, supply chain management, agri consultancy, ensuring that our entrepreneurs are equipped to tackle every challenge in their journey. We are more than just a business, we are architect of a future. Every entrepreneur who walks through our doors brings a vision, and it's our privilege to turn that vision into reality. Through expert guidance and specialized training and unwavering support, we continue to build an ecosystem where agriculture innovation thrives and entrepreneurs flourish. Today's session is heartfelt celebration of outstanding contributions women who have made to the agri-startup ecosystem. As part of an inspiring series that highlights the remarkable achievement of women entrepreneurs, we are focusing on those who have carved a niche in the aquaculture innovation. This series comprises 25 webinars bringing together women founders and mentors, and we will continue this until April 2025. So our spotlight today is on aquaculture, that's technology and innovations. It is with immense pleasure that I introduce our distinguished speakers for this session. They bring a wealth of expertise and invaluable insights into aquaculture, a critical sector in the agri-startup space. Their experiences and perspectives are sure to inspire and guide us, opening new doors of possibilities in ever-evolving ecosystem. So with this without delay, we'll start the session. To introduce our first speaker, let me call my colleague Josephine to introduce our first speaker.
Thank you, Rahalya. Our first speaker, Ms. Kamcha Hanke, is an expert in quality control and aquaculture nutrition and health management, with hands-on experience in carp, buramundi, and soft-shell crab farming systems. As an aqua technical and health management professional, Ms. Kamcha holds an MFSc in fish biochemistry and physiology and PhD scholar in fish nutrition and feed technology, bringing expertise and dedication to the aquaculture industry. Over to you, ma'am.
Hello, everyone. So may I first also request, if you can share the slide for me, because for some reason I'm not able to share.
It's okay, ma'am. We'll share. Josephine, kindly share from your side. Josephine or Saurabh.
Yes, Rahalya.
Okay. Thank you very much. So to begin with, thank you for actually inviting me for today's session, and I welcome everyone, and I give my regards to all the panelists and the hosts, and also, as well the audiences. Today's topic we are discussing on aquaculture technology and innovation, and here I'll be speaking basically from my experiences so far in work and my startup journey, and I will just kind of share how I got navigated to a new venture. So as we all know, aquaculture basically, the next slide. So thank you. So aquaculture, as we know, like it's a culture of aquatic plants and animals, in a control system. However, like how we perceive right now as technology. So we say aquaculture and technology, together it brings us innovative aquaculture, we say, so which comprises maybe of system as in like floating system, RAS, open cage, flow through, and etc., right? However, like what we can say, like innovative technologically at the moment, what we are actually focusing and looking at is into having a double revenue generation mode. So that this is also like something that I have been working with. So this that's why I kind of here I've highlighted it. So it's basically for me is aquaculture, and I pointed vertical farming, but it couldn't be any integrated farming. Yeah. So that comes as an example of innovative aquaculture with technology, because it's an intensive, indoor culture system when we talk about vertical farming in urban system, right? And my approach, like how I, as a startup with green aquaponics, that would be my project that's currently we are working at, is green aquaponics, where we say innovative aquaculture, which comprises of aquaculture, like our traditional farming, and vertical farming in an indoor system using green energy, like hydropower, solar energy, and as well as of course it's a hybrid kind of energy system. So basically, yes, so that's the whole concept of me coming up with green aquaponic system. Now moving forward, we'll discuss how and like what actually triggered me to venture this path. The next slide, please. Yeah, so this is one of the most innovative and very high technical farm that I was working at. So I found this very interesting to share, because this is one of the platform, one of my experience that actually motivated me and gave me a lot of exposure and experiences. So it's kind of, I would say, integrated sustainable technology where we used solar energy. And if you see, it's a open sea farming system, right? But however, you will also see that it's based in Singapore, may I say that as well. So why in Singapore we came with this project? Singapore basically, like it's an island and it's a very small space, right? And it's like very urban. And for that reason, what during the COVID, right? So there was a lot of the scarcity for food supplies. So that actually triggered a lot of farmers to come up with a goal of achieving nutritional supplies, at least domestic supply for the purpose. So this is actually interestingly, the CEO and the founder is not from aquaculture background, but he is a marine engineer. Yeah. So he came up with the idea, and we built up this whole indoor controlled floating farming system. So here we use solar energy on the roof. If you see, those are all solar panels. And we have like all AI monitoring and application, as in like we have software as Aquanetics for say. So where you can monitor and have a record keeping of all your water parameters to feed technology. And also like it also shows you how much feed you need to provide as per the growth, and as well like what water quality parameters you should be having in the farm. So likewise, there was sky tools to actually also check for your water quality parameters, the turbidity for two micro, like parasites to microorganism, the good ones and the bad ones. So that's one of the examples. When I say biotechnology, now that plays a very important role and very interesting role as per now. So when we talk about biotechnology, they are like they are actually replacing. We go for like no antibiotics, no vaccine, right? So this biotechnology has come up. It's as a revolution in aquaculture. So I'm also working with aligning few companies with government and farms. So here we do as an R&D for biotech, where we go for as in uh, enhancing the growth species wise, and as well as we will go for health management system. And of course, like when you do aquaculture and any farming, even if it's like agriculture or aquaculture, we go for any optimal system, like from optimal feeding to optimal control, water control to environmental control. So yes, and the last point here I'm saying about supply chain. Supply chain technically, if you say here as an example, interestingly in India we also have Aqua Connect. If you have come across that, it's in like Tamil Nadu based, right? So here what we do is we connect all the farmers, and we like one of the motto was to build up a marketing platform. If I know it correctly, if I met that, So it's basically that platform that gives you a marketing platform. It connects all the farmers, and it gives you it gives you a platform for B2B or B2C. Likewise, there are companies in Asia and even ours. So we were doing marketing as in a B2C and B2B, and all we have all this platform. We use digital marketing platform to, like, producing. When you talk about supply chain, it's just not about marketing, it's also about the quality of the product and what innovative products you are selling. So here we have an interesting thing. We have come across product added, like, value added products such as sashimi. Like right now we are all like focusing on tuna, but however, interestingly, Vietnam has got sashimi grade pangasius. Singapore has developed sashimi grade barramundi, different flavored, right? So that's really interesting. So you have to understand the market, consumers, and maybe something you want to like take a risk, but also be innovative and attractive when you bring out a new product in the market, right? So that's about it. The next slide, please. Yeah. So here, I am based from, like, I'm based in Arunachal. I'm from Arunachal Pradesh, a very beautiful town and a state in the northeast of India. What in my region is what we suffer, like, what we face, I would say, as a challenge is a huge, like, variation of season. And then it's, if we say it's an agriculture land, but not exactly, because of the diversity of topography and the climate. So it's basically like very versatile in culture, as well as the quality and the type of soils and climates. Third factors is like how I stated here, transportation. It's not easy for us to get good supplies of seeds or feed, it to get it in the region as for now. Hopefully it will change soon. The price of the commodity, because we say like there's a middleman, but interestingly, unfortunately, we have like third party and fourth party. So by the time it reaches, like, it reaches to our market, it gets in a very like high sale rate. And still now we are getting all the fish from Andhra. We are sourcing from Andhra. So imagine like the quality of the fish and the frozen and how it gets transported. And by the time it reaches, we do not really have a warehouse where we can actually keep the fish in a hygienic condition. So that's the sad part. Of course, like so these are like how I've listed some of the concerns that I have observed in my place, and what actually also triggered me to get into my project for starting my own farm. Next slide, please. Thank you. So here we are. So that actually, I triggered me, and I have mapped my way all on. This is my project. It's called as Green Aquaponics, and with an agenda as an actionable plan towards sustainable food revolution. And it aligns with our United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 30 by 30, where initially I would plan on like supplying 30% of the nutritional requirement to our domestic people in my own state of Arunachal Pradesh to begin with. So I'm integrating aquaponics and vertical farming here. So basically, my aquaponics system would be in an intensive recirculatory aquaculture system, RAS system, and the new, the whole RAS system will also be again white green, because we'll be using all green energy like from solar and hydropower. So this is my target, and how we are actually building up the whole project. So yeah, that's about it. And the vertical farming will be basically the seasonal our seasonal crops all around the year, and which will derive all the nutritions from the waste of the aquaculture, like our farm, like aqua farm. So this is a double crop system, if I may say. Next. So so this is are all the sustainable development goals 30 by 30, and we are aligning it, and these are all the 5 goals that we are at the moment focusing at, like we no hunger, zero hunger, energy for everyone, and it's a clean derived project. Economic growth, as in like providing employment as well as socio-economical status of the region. And then we will have a sustainable operation as well as sustainable food supply. This will also be a hub of training and research. And then aligning with the 14th goal, it protect the richness of our native, because native for like fauna and flora, if I may say, because now like when we talk about it, our state fish is golden mahasir, which is actually already in the list of endangered species, right? So we are actually targeting also to have a facility where we can actually do like preserve conservatory project for such a species. The next. So yeah, so this is how we are, what we are offering. So we are offering technical support. So I'm also working as as a consultant. We'll provide all the operational plan. We'll give you a marketing platform and any future expansion projects. And right now, like how I've mentioned, I'm aligning industries with government and both commercial farm and whoever farmers interested, be it progressive. There is no how to say we do not like there is an equality. We consider all farmers as equal, so there will be no biasness. So yes, so we are harvesting hope, and the future for us is aquaponics. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for discussing about the green aquaponics, which is an innovative aquaculture using the solar energy and hydropower, and also by integrating the sustainable technologies like green energy and AI monitoring, biotechnology and supply chain, by connecting the farmers and bringing a market platform. And also you have discussed about how this innovative aquaponics is tracking the record of water parameters, and how you are targeting towards a sustainable food production by targeting towards achieving the sustainable development goals. Thank you so much, ma'am, for the informative presentation. So without delay, we'll move out to the second session. So before going to the second speaker's presentation, I'm requesting the participants, if you have any questions, you can keep in chat box, and also you can raise your hands. So questions will be taken up after the three speakers presentation. So now second speaker for today's session is Amruta ma'am. So Amruta, who with her childhood friend Ministry Madhumita started their own company in 2016 after a long haul in IT corporate world. Together, they started a solar EPC company that does solar projects today across India. She is also a part of the incredible journey that they have started in 2021 with Divara Mitra, a solar-powered and IoT-enabled solution for aquaculture sector. She loves this journey as it always challenges her mental ability and strength, and at the same time gives her freedom and flexibility to use her time how she wants. So with this short introduction, I'm requesting Amruta ma'am to take over the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the introduction and good morning, everyone. Can you please allow me to share my screen?
Yes. Yes, you can share.
Now, ma'am, is it visible?
Yeah, it is visible. Yeah, it is visible.
Okay.
I think you can make
thank you,
slideshow.
everyone, and good morning, everyone. Yeah, okay. So, thank you for the opportunity given to me of our journey. So, I will just narrate the story in three sections: why, what, and how. So, the picture that you see on the left, it's me and my childhood friend Ministry. We are together since class
Can you
9,
make
and that
slideshow?
gives you the story about why we started the thing. Sorry, you can't see it.
Can you please make a slideshow? Yeah, it is visible. Can you please make slideshow?
I did that. It's if
Otherwise, no
can't
problem.
see
Share
it.
it as it is. Yeah, no problem. Share it as it is otherwise.
Okay. So I was explaining why we did Think Grow India. It's the
Now it
story
is
goes
not
back to
visible,
class
ma'am.
9.
Now it is not
Sorry?
visible. I think it's not visible. kindly share it once again.
Would you? Okay. Can you please share it, ma'am? Because it's again the
Rahalya, we are
right has
sharing
been.
from our end.
Yes, yes. Okay. I think you can able to see the slides now.
Yeah, it's perfect.
We can go
Thank you
ahead.
so much. Yeah, okay. So, okay, so again, going back to class nine, I was telling you why we started this. When we were in class nine, we always thought that, we will set up something of our own someday because we wanted to have our own defined rules to be put in place. And with God's grace, we were good students, so we always wanted to compete with the boys. And that's the reason why we always had in mind that when we grow up, we will do something. So in 2020, 2016, when we met again in Delhi, Ministry and I thought that we will do something of our own at that point of time. We were deep into the IT experience at that point of time in our life. And but that during that time, Ministry had already worked in some NGO program and she was already doing some CSR activities. So there was a project that we were doing in 2016. It was with Asian Paints, where they were implementing Project Rainbow. It was a setup for IT setup for rural kids in Greater Noida region, and they wanted everything to happen on green energy solution. So in that point of time, we thought that maybe it will be a good idea for us if we can set up and give a flight, give a wings to our venture. So then we started ThinkRaw in 2016, and we started working on the solar EPC area. And then the COVID hit into the.
Amrita ma'am, we are unable to hear you. Josephine, kindly call her once. I think
Yes, yes.
Josephine or Saurabh. Yeah. Amrita ma'am, am I audible? I think she's in the meeting only. Otherwise, shall we continue with the third speaker if she is being late? 2 minutes, Murpa ma'am. If it is being late, we will continue with the third speaker. My team is contacting her. Yeah.
She's checking, Rahalya.
Then shall we
We'll just
continue with
wait
third
for a
speaker
minute.
or she will be starting? So Josephine, we can continue the third speaker. So kindly share third speaker presentation. Then at least we'll have time for the discussion also. After the third speaker presentation, we can go with Amrita ma'am. So
Yeah, okay, Rahalya.
yeah, is that fine? So participants, I'm so sorry. There is a problem with the Amrita ma'am network connection. So no problem. We'll be starting the third speaker presentation. So after that, we can continue with the Amrita ma'am. So to introduce our third speaker, let me call my colleague Josephine to introduce our third speaker.
Okay, Miss Muripa is the founder of Marvel's Fish Research and Solutions LLP, a woman-led aquaculture startup in Hyderabad with over 20 years of experience in hotel, hospitality, and food processing industries. She specializes in customer relations and project management. Ms. Muripa focuses on designing advanced aquaculture tanks and filters, aiming to empower fish farmers and promote sustainability, growth, and development of the aquaculture sector. Welcome to the today's session, ma'am. Handing over to you.
Kindly unmute yourself, Murippa ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. Namaste.
Amruta ma'am, we'll continue after third speaker presentation. Is that fine? Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. You can continue, Murippa ma'am.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. Namaste and thank you, Team Manage, for creating such a wonderful platform where it's like a welcome change to see there's so much of knowledge exchange happening. And I really like the insights shared by Ms. Kamcha because we all are working towards the same goal. The technological advancements in aquaculture is what we are looking forward for. And that, let me tell you, is the future of aquaculture. In India, actually, can I have the next slide, please? If you see this slide, the global aquaculture market, India stands in the second place, whereas when it comes to exporting of fish, India stands at fifth place. When it comes to shrimp, it stands in the second place. But if you see the first topmost places occupied by the export countries, they are like very small countries in relation with fish. If you see, Norway is the largest exporter of fish, whereas Ecuador, a small country in a corner of South America, is the topmost exporter of shrimp. Now, if you see the pattern, most of these countries, though they are small, the only reason why they are at the top and giving India such stiff competition is because of the technological advancements they are using. This is something which is the need of the hour in Indian aquaculture. And let me tell you, aquaculture in India has a humongous growth and it's a widespread market. So, how are we implementing the technological advancements created everywhere in the world, which can be adapted in Indian market is where Marvels plays a major role. Can I have the next slide? And in India, aquaculture being the most unorganized sector, there is scope for new advancements. Now, these are the major areas where new innovations can come up and are in the progress as we speak. There is a lot of advancements happening in these major chains like recirculating aquaculture, which Ms. Kamcha has explained, the supply chain management, waste management, the traceability. Can you guys, can you just believe that just with one major source of traceability of tracking where the fish or the shrimp is sourced, what is the brood stock maintenance? With just one small development, Ecuador has raised as the topmost country in exporting of one shrimp. So these are all avenues where we can venture into. Can I have the next slide? Now, RAS system, as explained by Ms. Kamcha, is a method which is started in early 1950s, and from there on, there's tremendous technological advancements happening in the scope. Now, at Marvels, what we do is getting this technology and adapting them to Indian market is the major challenge. The technological advancements which are happening in countries out of the world, out of India, the resources are high over there And whereas in India, we have limited resources. So we at Marvels, we innovate and design products which are adaptable to Indian market and enhance the lives of the farmers. This is our point one, where we develop a lot of biological filters. As in India, a major problem is having power, continuous power to the farmer. To overcome this challenge, we have developed various biological filters.
Ma'am, I think you are not audible now. Your audio has.
Oh,
Yeah, now it is okay. You can speak.
okay. So these biological filters are an advancement to the existing mechanical filters, which help in ensuring that you have higher stock density, and the water, whichever we use for recycling this water, can be treated so that you have 100% of water recycled and reused. As water is a major resource, we at Marvels have come up with a solution where we can recycle the entire water with very less or minimal power. This is what we have done. Can I have the next slide, please? Now, as Ms. Kamcha has already told us, once we have increased the stocking density for the farmer, once we make his or her farming easier, the methodology is easier, where they can produce more fish, more shrimp. Our next problem would be the supply chain. To ensure this fish, which is live fish, being transported to the end consumer. Now, this is where Marvels has paved a way, where we have developed technologically advanced transportation systems, where you can transport the live fish, which is majorly available in the coastal areas of Andhra, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala, and transport these fish to all parts of India, where the end consumer sitting at his in his urban area can also get live fish. Now, in this, we have developed technology where the first solution is to give a transportation system for live fish and shrimp to reach to the end consumers. Now, once it reaches to the retail sector, we have developed new advanced tanks which can sustain the live fish for next 1 week. So the first step is to make sure that the fish is transported live. The second step is to make sure that the retailer, whoever is having this live fish, whoever is getting the live fish, can sustain the fish for next 1 week, so that he can sell live fish to the consumers. Now, as Ms. Kamcha has already given us that yes, supply chain in India with fish needs a drastic development, as we are now completely dependent on cold supply, cold supply chain. So this is a place where Marvels has created new avenues, thus increasing the revenue of the farmer, because the farmer can sell the live fish at much more premium price than a dead fish. The second step is the retailer. He can sell fish throughout the week. It's not just on Sundays, but throughout the week, a fish can be sold live at again premium prices to the customer. So this is where our innovations are happening. Can I have the next slide, please? These small innovations, like once we got a small gap with the supply chain, our research team has immediately worked on as how to fill the gaps. Now, as I've told you, these are the various places. Now, because of the time limit, what we have, I'm unable to explain the other points, but yes, traceability and supply chain management, along with automation, These are the various fields where Marvels is contributing a lot. We have developed a new technology where our brood stock can be maintained and developed henceforth. Now, usually what happens is the brood stock or the major parent stock is imported from various countries to India, and we develop the offspring over here. Now, at Marvels, we have designed a technology where we can develop our own brood stock. Now, this one segment of developing our own brood stock and uh, regenerating the next stock, the hatcheries all over in Andhra Pradesh or all over wherever we have fishing as a major sector, they need not depend on your import of broodstock. We can have our own broodstock developed. The moment we develop our own broodstock, we achieve traceability. Once we achieve traceability, that one reason can give you a major revenue to your export. Now, once a broodstock is developed, we at Marvels make sure that it is disease free broodstock. So these are the few technological advancements what we are making at Marvels. Can I have the next slide, please? Now, there is a lot of scope for new startups to come into this industry and explore. You can always reach us at this point, at this number, and our research team is always ready to make sure that your ideology can be changed into the technological advancement. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for wonderful presentation. You have discussed starting from the global aquaculture market and you have taken us to the journey of Marvel Fish and how this startup is following the innovative technologies like indoor fish farming and disease management and biological filters, higher stock density and scalability and flexibility, and how Marvels has developed transporting a live fish to the various parts of the India and how you depend on the whole supply chain by contributing to traceability and automation. Thank you so much, ma'am, for the informative presentation. So, participants, if you have any questions, you can keep in chat box and also you can raise your hands. So, without delay, we will move on to the third speaker's presentation. Amrita ma'am, are you available? So, Kamcha ma'am and Muripa ma'am, kindly be in line. We will take up the questions after the Amrita ma'am presentation. So, Amrita ma'am, I think is there, right? I think she is not in the meeting. So, Saurabha Josephine, kindly call her once. Amrita ma'am, shall we continue?
Thank you so much, and sorry for the glitch. And good morning again, everyone. I've been given this story, opportunity to talk about my story. So here I go. Why, what, and how. Why we started it is the story goes back to class 9 when we joined together, Minshi and I. We always thought that we will set up, when we grow up, we will set up something of our own where we can, define our own rules and implement our own plans. So we were very competitive in nature at that point of time. And then we started studying and got into the higher education. She did the MSc in chemistry. I did my electrical engineering. And in 2016, we met physically again in Delhi. So we thought that it's the time now so that we can give wings to our plan. By that time, Minushi had already started working with Asian Paints and they were working on a project Rainbow, where Asian Paints was implementing IT solutions for the rural kids in their IT labs. And they wanted everything to happen on green energy. So that's the time the idea struck. We thought that maybe it's an opportunity for us to establish our company, Think Raw, and start something, some work on solar energy. And we started working on the solar EPC area. So we were doing some projects, residential sector and industrial sector. And then the COVID struck in 2019. By that time, we had already had some plans that, we will do some innovative product in solar energy, and so that we can cater to some niche area. And both of us, we come from Orissa, so we had the privilege to speak to the farmers there, the fish and the prawn farmers. So during the COVID time, 1920, we had a long discussion with more than 80 farmers actually in Orissa to understand what is the area all about, because aquaculture is something where we had absolutely no experience in earlier. We had IT experience of 14 years. So when we started talking to the farmers there, fish farmers and prawn farmers, we realized that it's not only the diesel thing that they would like us to get converted to solar energy source, but the problem is huge. The problem is a bigger problem that they are facing. So then we thought that we will actually conceptualize this idea where we will develop an integrated solution for them. It's not just one point pain area that needs to be catered to. It's a whole pain area that we can actually cater to if we can we go to the next slide, please? So before talking about what and how, I just meant talk about ourselves again. In 2021 is the time when I said we conceptualized the idea and we came up with a solution which is named as Dhivara Mitra, which means the friend to a farmer. Dhivara in Sanskrit is farmer, and we established this company in 2021. It's a Orissa registered company, but we work in Orissa and West Bengal at the moment. Can we go to the next slide, please? So the solution, why the pain areas that we identified and the gaps that we identified in aquaculture sector which we wanted to actually, bridge. First is the high morbidity rate in the fish and the prawn farmer. This is the biggest pain area for any fish or the prawn farmer, more so less for the prawn farming, because the business loss is huge for them. It's a very labor intensive process. Even for 1 acre of prawn or fish farming, the owner needs to engage at least 3 persons to carry out all the key activities like dispersal of feed, like maintenance of the dissolved oxygen level of the water, and the chemical dispersal for the maintaining the water quality, so that the growth can be maintained and the proper growth can happen in the fish and the prawn stock. So the morbidity rate can be controlled. And third is the low harvest and quality and quantity, because of the obvious reason that because you do not get much people to engage to, and it's so risky a process that if you are not able to carry out the key processes timely and at the frequency as it's required, you will not be able to maintain the water quality, which will hamper the growth of the stock. So eventually the quality of the harvest and the quantity of the harvest will be very, very less. That's something that everyone is suffering. In Orissa, while we were doing the development, validation testing, we also realized that what happens is if you go to Andhra Pradesh, the farmers are more advanced. They have been doing it for a pretty long time. So they know for 1 acre, if I take for an example, for 1 acre of fish farming land, they are still producing 4 tons of fish. But if you go to Orissa, if you go to West Bengal, they are not very risk takers. So what happens is if you do not have access to the technologies which are available, what they do is they are not actually generating at the optimal level. In Orissa, a farmer produces 1 ton of fish from 1 acre of land, which is something that we always want to look into. And the fourth leg, the problem area that the fish and the prawn farmers face, mostly the prawn farmers, is high fuel expenses to run the paddler-based aeration system. Because aeration system is a must for prawn farming, otherwise will not be able to survive the stocks that they are using. So keeping all this in mind, we conceptualized an idea and we created a solution which is called the Varamitra. If we can go to the next slide, please. So it's a solar powered solution. So there's no need to use any diesel source or grid connectivity. And it's a floatable solution which can go around the pond area to carry out the key activities of feed distribution as well as DO level maintenance and the pH level maintenance. So it's a smart system IoT based enabled integrated process where we have an IoT module sitting on top of our solution, which frequently checks the DO level of the water and the pH level of the water, and automatically triggers the corresponding processes for aeration as well as the chemical dispersal, so that the water quality can be maintained. By automatic, we mean that it can be remotely controlled by any person, male or female. We are giving emphasis to females because we are female members. So we thought that we will make it as easy as the female farmers also, to start their own business. There are small small self-help groups, fish-based, female-based self-help groups. They do everything manually, and because it involves a lot of drudgery, the output that they see is very minimal. So this solution is going to help them, earn more crop for per meter square cubic meter area. It's easily navigable. It's as I said, it's a clean energy run solution. It runs on solar solution. And something that we are also keeping in mind always in parallel is women empowerment through this. So if we go to the agriculture side, we still see a lot of female members of the family. They carry out a lot of tasks. But if we go to the aquaculture side, it's still very less female who engage themselves in the process. So we want to promote that in aquaculture side as well. Can you go to the next slide, please? So, what we did in 2021 when we were thinking about the idea, we did file the patent for the solution, as well as we had to customize and develop the propeller system for our solution so that we can smoothly and optimally move it around the pond to carry out the activities. So we got the patent for both the solution as well as the design in 2024. Validation, we did 3 layers of validation because it's one area. When we are talking about farmers, it's a remote area. We wanted to be very sure before launching a product. So we did 3 layers of validation. We did one layer while we developed the prototype version, then 2 layers of validation when we were working on the MPV version, and now we are ready with the final version of the Varamitra. We have been working in the Baleswar and Jagatsinghpur district in Orissa. Orissa is our pilot bed at the moment, but we are trying to reach out to West Bengal and other states like Chhattisgarh and Andhra Pradesh so that we can scale up our product too. The number of units that we have sold so far is 7. So, and one experience that I would like to share. There's a very progressive prawn farmer in Jagatsinghpur in Orissa. We didn't approach him, but he came to us and he said that I would definitely like to take one system from you, because he did his calculation and he said that I'm actually going to save a lot of money on this and my quality is going to be also very improved. So we were very happy. So he has taken 1 unit from us on rent and he has been helping us improvising our product. Can we go to the next slide, please? This is a very important slide for us. When we develop this solution, we always had in the idea that we have to work in the rural side of India, because we believe that India will develop only when all the pockets of India will develop. So we are working closely with the farmers. So we track the impact level and we try our level best to see to it that our solution actually helps all the farmers from all parts of India grow. The financial impact, obviously, it's actually helps the farmers earn more from better quality of harvest and better quantity of harvest. Social impact, there are many female farmers who are joining us in this drive. When we are carrying out the awareness sessions in parallel to the deployment of our project, we are seeing the enthusiasm in the female farmers as well. Employment generation, there are many female young people in the rural area who initially or who actually go to migrate to the township areas to find the job. Now we are trying to engage themselves and keep themselves in that location so that they can work with us and buy our solution, rent it out so that they can have their own revenue generation stream in place. Environment impact, this is the first one because that is how we started working on. It's a solar energy. It does two things. One is there is no diesel usage, so there's no spoiling the environment. The second one is because we are able to maintain the DO level and the pH level of the water, and also we are doing the controlled feed distribution. We are also maintaining the water quality. So there are two ways we are impacting the environment. And by financial impact, why? It's the screen that you see. It's actually helps reduce these crop damage, or which we say the increasing survival rate of the stock prawn and the fish by 20 to 30%. It reduces the feed wastage by 20 to 30%. So that's a saving on the cost for a farmer. It reduces the dependency on labor by 40 to 50%. So that's again a saving on the cost for the farmer. And it increases the quality of the harvest. So it's an in turn overall, it's a 30 to 40% increase in the harvest and the revenue for a farmer. That's what we are looking at. And we have continuously tracking it in our test bed in Orissa. And we are very happy that we are able to achieve the targets that we had put in place for us. Next slide, please. This is a snapshot of what the awards and what we could generate till now, because it's our solution is it's costly. It's 5.5 lakhs. Everyone says that it's costly, but when we talk to the farmers, they say that when they do their mental calculation about what kind of savings they do with this and what kind of increase in the revenue that they are able to achieve through this. So what we are trying to do at the moment is working with the farmers as well as the financial institutes in the region, so that it becomes very affordable for the farmers to take it. And the awards we are fortunate enough to be awarded by the Directories of Fisheries in Orissa. That's recently that happened. Before that, we have won few innovative idea challenges as well. And the grant we have, I mean, got this kind enough, and I think the incubation system and everyone like you, ma'am, and sir from manage team. So with everyone's help, we could generate some grants and equity and that funding, so that we can with which we could develop our solution. And we have now the final version of our of our product ready to take it to the market. So we are very thankful to everyone, and we are incubated with many technical institutes as well as many agriculture side institutes, so that we can have a complete ecosystem where we can have access to the technologies which are available in India. We can have also the industry information and the experience also from the institutes like CIFA and OUAT. So that's the ecosystem that where we are staying at the moment. Next slide, please. And thank you so much. That's this is what I had to talk about myself, my friend, and my company, Think Raw India. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amrita ma'am, for starting from, you have discussed what are the problems existing in the aquaculture market and how Deva Mitra addressing this gap by using the smart system and solar system, and how you made it easy for the women farmers to start their business, and how you are creating financial impact and social impact by lifting the women farmers, and how you are creating the employment. So this is really informative presentation. So participants, now we will move to the next part of the session. If you have any questions, you can keep in chat box, and also you can raise your hands. So I think three speakers, Kamcha ma'am, Muripam ma'am, and Amrita ma'am are there to answer the question. So without delay, I'll take up the questions. So there is a question from Jeevan Rao. So he's asking how to control disease outbreaks, and most states don't have regulations, high input costs, water pollution, climate change. How to manage these problems in aquaculture?
Okay, can I answer that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the first and the foremost point to control your disease outbreak is efficient removal of sludge. Once the sludge is efficiently and effectively removed, your major part of your disease is controlled. The second one is make sure that the water which you're using is treated properly. You need to remove the ammonia from the water as well as the dissolved substances. So, with the use of biological filters, with the use of mechanical filters, you can do this process. Once your sludge is removed and treated, your 90% of your disease is solved. The problem sector is solved.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Amrita ma'am, you want to give Amrita and Kamsa ma'am, you want to give any input for this?
Yeah, my one input will be, as Muripa ma'am clearly mentioned, explained clearly that what needs to be done in that case. Uh, it happens, the disease happens if you do not start the process correct in a correct way. So I would say that this is from our experience with the working with the farmers, that when you start working your doing the farming, at that point of only you have to plan it accordingly, and you have to be very careful about what are the how you create your own farm, how do you create your own pond, and then you take the seed or the fingerlings to start your farming process. So you have to be very careful at the beginning to control maybe 60% of the problem itself there. And then you have your regular process that you need to follow, as Muripa ma'am said. it's a regular process that need to be carried out to keep it clean and disease free.
Thank you, ma'am. Kamcha, ma'am.
Yeah, so like both of them have actually highlighted the main, solution. Yes, of course, like you have to have a proper pond management system. Your water quality parameters should be in check. However, I would also like to add, because this is my experience working with companies, or you say like commercial companies, but I have always noticed that a farm must always have, either if you are having enough budget, please hire a technical person. Prevention is always better than cure, they say. And secondly, always align with government bodies to seek help, like technical help. So these two are for me, like I felt it's very core essential. And of course, like your internal water quality parameter management, your farm management should be considered. But please have a technical expert in your farm. If not, just go to the government or whoever you approachable to, seek the help. Like, do not wait.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. So, participants, you can also raise your hand. So, my team gonna unmute you. Then you can ask questions directly to the speakers. So, meanwhile, I'll take up a few more questions. So, there is a question from Sharath Pant. So, he's asking how we can make IT, IoT based technologies and energy efficient technologies more adaptable and cost effective, so that farmers can easily adopt it and at the same time startups can generate profit. Win-win situation.
I will answer that because I think that's something that we are dealing with Devarmitra at the moment. Um, yeah, technology comes with a cost. We need to accept that first, because when we are preaching, we always went to the SIFA and other the universities everywhere. We were told that farmers are not able to afford, but that's not the case. I think we need to understand India is changing. If we go to the rural parts of India and talk to the fish and prawn farmers, their level of affordability is somewhere much higher than where we think they can afford. So that is one thing that we need to keep in mind and accept that. And but at the same time, to make it affordable, the solution, because technical solution, green energy solution is a must at the moment. So to make it affordable, there are many government schemes which are available in the market, like subsidy scheme, Epicol in India, in Orissa, Mukhyamantri Matsya Samruddhi Yojana, and the national level also in FDB. There, everyone is giving subsidy program. It's not very easy a process, I must say, that you go and you submit your process file and then you get the subsidy, but it's achievable, it's doable. So that needs to be taken into account. And there are a lot of financial institutes like NABARD and other companies also, like Annapurna Financing. They are all rural-based financing companies. They are also working closely with the farmers and livelihood missions. So there are many avenues we need to find out, and it will be good if we can join the awareness sessions. There are a lot of sessions also happening, and where government is trying to highlight what are the things that a farmer can actually take into account before getting into taking any solution into account. So if we can build up something, we have all the parameters. If we can join the dots and then build up something for the farmers, it will be really really interesting. And I see that it's happening in India, which needs to be we need to keep an open eye and open ears. I think it's possible.
That's a great answer. Thank you, ma'am. So I think one more question from Ishika Gautam. She is asking, what advice would you give to young professionals, particularly women who are interested in combining technology with aquaculture? I think anyone can answer this.
Okay, if I can take it up, I think there's no suggestion. I don't know the name who has given this asked this question. I think that's you don't need any suggestion. You just go ahead and do it. I think every one of us has started doing it, and it's happening. If we can survive for so long, everyone can survive. I think so. It's you do not have to depend on anything. You just need to take on this wave. It's a very good wave. It's happening in India. There are a lot of incubation programs, sector specific incubation programs which are happening. If you can enroll yourself in any one of them, you would definitely get proper guidance. I need to go and speak to the government officials, as Kamcha mentioned. Government is also doing many things at state level, also central level also. Just approach them. It will take a little time, but they will definitely make you able so that you can just jump in and start your own work.
Yes, I would also like to add in over here. It's not about gender, whether it's women or men. all you need to see is check for gaps. There are a lot many gaps. I'm sure it's the same with Miss Kamcha or Miss Amrita. Like, we all found small gaps where we can get technology enrolled. That's how we have created a startup system. And that happens with everyone. Everywhere it's the same thing. You find what are the gaps which need to be filled and work on that. And let me tell you, technology or no technology, once you start working to fill up the gaps, technology automatically comes in.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Kamcha, ma'am, you want to add anything to this?
I think both Ms. Marita and Ms. Amrita have already highlighted all the points. Yeah, nothing from my end. I can only wish them the best of luck, and just feel in your gut. If you want to do it, just go ahead, and you will know your own path, and you will know how to do. But of course, like initially, starting up, you just know what funds, what gaps, or maybe if not gap, what interesting, innovative, and potential element you're adding, like what makes you stand out from the traditional, something like that, right? So that kinds of give you credibility also, no? So maybe just open your eyes, keep your eyes open, and yeah, just go ahead, yeah, sky's the limit.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. So I think it's 12 o'clock. I need to end the session since it is 1 hour. So thank you, participants, for your questions. So since we are short of time, I cannot take all your questions since there are two more questions pending. So no problem. Still, if you have any questions, and you can contact the speakers, that is, speaker details are given in the chat box. And also, if you miss something interesting regarding the today's webinar, and to rewatch this webinar, the YouTube link for the watching the webinar is given in the chat box. So to receive such interesting update and program conducted by Manage that's happening, so stay tuned to our social media handles, and do not forget to follow us on social media. Along with this, as we are celebrating 5 years of online excellence on Saturday webinars, we have published Manage Extension Next Tech Good Practice Bulletin on Agri-Startup Ecosystem webinars for multi-stakeholders. The link to download the bulletin is shared in the chat box. And before concluding the session, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our three speakers, Amruta ma'am, Kamcha ma'am, and Muripa ma'am, for sharing your valuable insights on aquaculture. And thank you to all participants for your active engagement and thought-provoking questions. And also, I would like to thank my director, Dr. Saravanan Raj sir, whose ideas and unwavering support have made this 218 webinars possible, and also my team for hosting this webinar successfully. Thank you all. See you next week with one more topic. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
You,
You
Kamsa
all.
madam and Muripa and Amrita madam. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you.
It is nice. Yeah.
Thank you. Good day.